Hey guys, okay, what we are going to do, I want to go over the couple of problems to work out with the M1V1. So I thought I would do a worksheet in case you needed extra practice. So remember that we have M1V1 equals M2V2, okay? And this is you could call it the initial, you could call it the concentrated, but that's the concentration. This is how much M1 you're using. Okay? Now this M2 is your final or your diluted concentration. Okay? And V2 is the volume of your diluted sample. Okay? All right, so just kind of keep that in mind and let's work out some problems. All right, so let's look at number one. Just like we've always done, one of the first things I want you to do is circle everything that's got a little number, right? Okay, and then we need to figure out. So it says 45 mils of water is added. That little added is very important. Okay, 45 mils is added to 250 of 0.75. So the 250, apparently I'm putting little dots down there, sorry. The 250 and the 0.75, that's my initial stuff. That's my concentrates. That's my M1 and my V1. Now, because of the term added, right here, added, that means I'm putting 45 into the 250. So you're actually going to have to calculate your final volume, which is V2. So my V2, I started with the 250, and I added the 45. So my V2 is going to equal 295 milliliters. Okay? So it's asking what is the molarity of the diluted solution. So if I have my M1, V1, M2, V2, okay, so my M1, if I go back and check my stuff, is 0.75. My V1 is 250. My M2, that's what I'm looking for. So M2. And then my V2 is that 295 that I calculated. Okay? All right. So I'm just going to do my algebra. Divide both sides by 295. So my M2, and I'm going to get my calculator. Everybody else should have theirs. Okay? So 0.75 times 250 divided by 295. And I got 0.6355932, blah, blah, blah. I should only have two significant figures, so it should be 0.64 big M, which is molarity. Right? Okay. All right. Let's look at number two. I don't know if this will work or not, but we'll see. Okay. If water is added, ooh, we got another added again, beep, 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 to 175 milliliters of 0.45 molar until the volume is this. So even though it says added, if you've got to read the question and you know that it's going to go up to 250, so that's my V2. Okay, this question is actually telling you that your final is 250. What will the molarity of the diluted? So M1, V1, M2, V2. All right. So here's my M1. Here's my V1. So 0.45 times 175 equals, I'm looking for M2, and then I have my 250. Okay, so I'm going to divide both sides by the 250. Let's see what we get. Okay, so 0.45 times 175 equals divided by 250. So you get 0. So I need 2 sig figs, and my answer was 0.315. So it'd be 0.32 big M. Okay. And it's not showing up on the computer, and that's okay. Again, I'm having a lot of connectivity issues. Let me pause it and see what I can do. All right, so let's keep going here. Hopefully we'll stay connected. All right, so M2, that's where we were leaving off, should be 0. Oops, that went a little crazy, didn't it? Every time it restarts, I have to redo everything. All right, M2 should be 0.32 molar. Okay. All right. Let's try another one. Number 3. All right. How much 0.075 can be made if I dilute 450 of 9 molar? So you'll notice that this is smaller than this. Okay. So that means that this is the concentrated one. So that's M1. And we're going to have 450 mils of M1, so that's V1. Now, how much can be made? So it's given me a molarity, so that's got to be M2. And when it says how much, we're looking for V2. Okay, so let's set our little equation up here. M1 V1 equals M2 V2. Okay, so I pull my M1, which is 9.0. My V1 is 450. Now you notice that's in milliliters. So that means my answer is going to be in milliliters as well, right? Got to keep them the same. And 0.075. Okay. And I'm going to be looking for V2. So simple algebra, divide both sides by 0.075, and I have no idea why it did that line, but we're just going to have to leave it there for a little bit. All right, 9 times 450, divide that by 0.075, okay, and I got 54,000, okay, so, oops, 54,000 milliliters. Now, the more practical thing to do in this case is to write it in liters, right? How do we do that? Ooh, conversions, right? If you remember, there are 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. My milliliters would cancel out, okay? And I would end up getting 54 liters, right? All right. Now the next one, I'm going to see if I can do a little erasing here to get that goofy line off the screen. Hold on a second. Whoop, whoop. There we go. It's better. Okay. So here we go. We've got 550 mils of 3.5. And then where's another? Oh, I got another number. Okay. 550 of 3.5. Now it's set aside and allowed to evaporate. So if it evaporates, is my volume going up or is my volume going down? It's going down, right? So it's allowed to evaporate until the volume of the solution is 275, okay? So it's evaporating. What is the molarity once it evaporates and you got only 275 left? So actually my initial molarity is here, so that's M1. This one's a little unusual because your final's going to be more concentrated. There's my V1, and that would be my V2, okay? M1 V1 equals M2 V2. All right, M1, pull it from above, 3.50 times 550 milliliters. So your answer is going to be in milliliters. All right, now I'm looking for M2, and then that final volume, once it evaporates, is 275 mils. Okay, you notice they're both in mils, so we're okay. We don't have to convert. If one was in liters, we'd have to switch that. So 3.5 times 550, and then we're going to divide that by 275. And I got 7. So M2 should be 7. Now I should have 2 sig figs. So you would have to write 7.0 big M. Okay, here's your answer. All right, let's look at number 5. Okay, how much water would need to be added? Now this one's a little trickier. So how much water needs to be added? This is a big part right here. To 750 of 2.8 to get a 1 molar. Okay, so the initial stuff is M1, and how much of M1 do we have? Well, that's 750. That's V1. And then my final, I want it 1 molar, so I want it more dilute. So that's M2. Now, what I need to solve for, this is really a 2-step. One is you're going to solve for V2, right? You're going to get your total volume. But then what we need to do is it says how much was added. I don't know why this thing keeps showing up, but it's got to be something I'm doing, I'm sure. All right, number 2 is we need to get how much was added. So we're going to have to take V1 and subtract from V2. Okay, and I have no idea why these lines are occurring, but we're going to get with it. All right, so let's start down here. So M1, V1, M2, V2. Okay, so M1 is 2.8, V1 is 750. Okay, M2 is 1.0, and I'm solving for V2. So V2 would be 2.8 times 750 divided by 1. So I got 2,100. So 2,100 milliliters is how much we have. But it says how much is added. That's the big thing. Whoop, 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 added. So I started with 750, but I have 2,100. So I would need to take that 2,100 minus the 750. Okay, so 2,100 minus 750, and I got 1,350. So I would have to add 1,350 milliliters to the 750 to get the 2,100. So 1,350 would be your answer. I hope working these out helped some of you. And if you need any help with anything else, let me know. Bye.